Training for your next big race and not sure about your nutrition? Well, Precision Fuel and Hydration are sponsoring the show this month, and their free online planner has you covered. It calculates exactly how much carbs, sodium and fluid you need to smash your goals. Me and the team at Inside Running Podcast swear by the 90 gram resealable gel to have on our long runs. It's been a game changer for us. If you want to crush your race day strategy, hit the link in the show notes, try the planner and grab 15% off your first order with the code IR-Spring2025. That's IR-Spring2025. Hit the link, grab your discount and crush those goals. Now on to the episode. Welcome to episode number 402 of the Inside Running Podcast. A massive thank you for being with us for another week. We got a big show for you this week. I guess the Monaco Diamond League will be the feature news item. Also the Morton Games over in Dublin. We'll talk about those. Some sound running results that come out of America today as well. So some quick times over there, some cross-country championships to talk about, Run Melbourne, Whispers, Moose on the Loose, listen to question. And I'm also hoping to get on the line our three guests that we're going to have for our Patreon series, Road to Sydney, which is going to start next week. See how that goes with the technology behind the scenes though. Welcome to my co-host is up in Canberra, Brad Croker. How are you this week?
Good, thanks, Brady. Back to the comfort of my pajamas at the dining room table. Bit different to last Sunday.
It is a bit different. It was good not having to record last Monday, though, wasn't it? Like knocking over the recording at the live show really frees up your Monday night.
Yeah, except woke up with a bit of a headache on Monday morning.
Oh, a bit hungover.
Straight into SeaWorld.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you were doing that. My other co-host is down in Anglesea, Julian Spence. How are you this week?
Yes, all right. I didn't suffer the headache, actually. I'm not sure what it was that saved me on Monday morning. I had a little swim, woke up, had a little swim down at, what beach would that be? Like somewhere around Broad Beach there, near where the
North Cliffs? North Cliffs, is that what it's called, in between like Broad Beach and Surfers Paradise?
Yeah. Klara?
No, it's a bit up from Klara. It's like the bit where the works are going on the hotel where you have to divert down onto the matting on the beach area. Geez, that sucked, didn't it? Going for a run on matting on soft sand.
I only did it once. I only went south once.
Yeah, North's way better, isn't it? I saw you up and about for that, Croaks. Had the got to the Stitt, the dirt track up the top there.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Because you were the last one out, weren't you, Moose? I left you at that pub. Croaks went first. And then, you were still standing when I went home.
Yeah, and I was at that point where I was just drinking these big ginger beer pints and not getting any more buzz from it and just tipping down just probably $15 to $20 worth of drinks and not really progressing in the evening. So I thought this is a good time to go home here.
I heard you were wingman to the bad boy.
Oh, you want to be there yesterday on the long run when I told the story in full. It's a great story. It's one of the great Sunday long run stories, and we're not going to say it on here because it's not a long run. And what gets said on long runs on Sunday mornings can only be repeated next Sunday and the Sunday after.
Might be a Patreon story.
I thought about asking him a few stories on the monthly, which we recorded last week, but then thought against it. So I think you've got to keep some things private.
You went a bit soft on him there.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to know every detail about his personal life.
No, not every detail.
No, but you want to hear about his successes.
I think he had a good weekend. Let's just put it that way. On the roads, off the roads, in any venue he was in during the weekend. Let's move on though. Someone give me a training week. Who wants to go first?
Croaks first.
Give us. Yeah, you're back, Croaks.
Yeah, I actually had a pretty good week for where I've been. So Monday we went to SeaWorld. So I didn't run at all because I think we left home at like 8:30, got home at like 6, on my feet all day. And I was wearing like a pair of shoes that had like a bit of a harder heel counter, and it did just aggravate my heel a little bit, the one where I've been having that insertional Achilles stuff.
What shoes, Croaks?
Oh, just the Lululemon. Because I only took up 2 pairs of shoes. I took up basically the white Lululemon running shoes for the live show and the Neo Vista to run in, and Ufos slides. They were the only shoes that I took up. So
Man, you went up there for a week and you took 3 pairs of shoes.
Yeah, unheard of. Because I knew I wasn't going to be doing any sessions. I'm like, well, I just need 1 pair of running shoes. I need 1 pair of shoes to wear to the live show, to get dressed up in, and pair of thongs.
So you took 3 shoes. One of them was to run in, but you actually ran in the other shoe.
No, I didn't run in the Lululemon shoes.
Oh, I thought that's what you were talking about.
No, I just walked around SeaWorld in it and wore it at the live show. But yeah, no, SeaWorld's good. Actually bumped into Mona. So the lines are huge. Like we lined up for 60 to 70 minutes for one ride, and Mona was in front of us. So had a good hour-long chat with Mona, which was good way to pass the time. Certainly didn't expect to see him at SeaWorld.
Tell you what, Mona would have been standing there, and Croaks has run over, and he's gone, fuck me, this line's going to go forever now. Stuck. He couldn't get away from you. An hour of Croaks chewing his ear off.
That was good. Got some, I didn't realise he's been mentoring our boy Seth O'Donnell. So he
has he?
He knew what was going on with Seth and that he's heading overseas, and he'd had a bit of an injury issue recently. So yeah, it was good.
Did he get recognised like amongst the public?
No, not in the line that, not where I saw him. No.
Did you get recognised amongst the public?
No.
That would have been a solid place.
That's the worst. That would have been awful. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Getting recognised up there though was definitely bigger than previous years. Like, I don't know why. I don't know how people know what we look like. We hardly ever put our faces on social media. That's great. Don't get me wrong. I got recognised. Me and you were standing at the 26K mark, and people would go past us and be like, Brady, Croaks, we got recognised a bit there. Airports, trams. It was great. Thanks to the people that said hello. Carly actually thinks this is a successful podcast now. When she's like, oh, this has reach. People listen to your show.
Anyway, so that was Monday. Tuesday, I ran about 8:30 in the morning. It was actually a lovely day. I wasn't sure how far I was going to go. I was probably originally going to just go 45 minutes. And once I got maybe 3 or 4K north of surface, hit the nice sort of dirt trails or sandy trails. And I'm like, it's actually pretty nice out here. Didn't really see too many people. So I ended up doing 30 minutes out, 30 minutes back, 4:17 K pace. And then the next morning, I just did the exact same before we flew home. So flew home around midday. And then Thursday, got out that afternoon out at Mulligan's. Pretty miserable afternoon. 46 minutes at 4:23s. Then did my first session for the week. So just 5 by 6 minutes. Did the first 3 reps at 16.5K an hour, which is like 3:38. The last 2 at 17K an hour, so like closer to 3:30s. Heart rate was really good, way better than before I went to the Gold Coast when I was sort of coming off the sickness. I think I maxed out at 164 heart rate. So that was a good session. Went to the gym that afternoon. Saturday morning, got out for an hour at 4:22s. And then Sunday, once again, wasn't sure how far I was going to go because I hadn't done a long run in, I reckon it'll be 5 weeks. So I knew I wanted to do at least 90 minutes, but I was going to make a call after an hour whether I would just go straight home and make it more like 90 minutes or add on a bit of an extension. And I actually felt really good. Took a gel after about an hour, just a 30-gram one. Got through an hour 45 at 4:20s. I think heart rate was just under 140 maybe. So it was a week of 93K with a day off. So, pretty much 100K pro rata if I sort of went out for an easy run on Monday. So body's feeling fairly good. Motivation's high. Just trying to string together a good 6 weeks of good consistent volume without sort of rinsing myself in sessions.
Yeah, got enough there to launch from, don't you? Like
Well,
heart rate's not ridiculous. You can be on your feet for an hour and 45 at that kind of pace.
Yeah, I just
got
need
somewhere to go.
I just need 6 weeks of no interruptions.
Yeah, you and me both. Just give me a good run at it. I'm feeling the same.
You're talking about Brady. You haven't had many hiccups in 7 years.
Yeah, but no, I have. My last 3 weeks, 61K, 110K, 113K.
Yeah, that's basically that's the best part of my year this year. I strung together that 3 weeks.
We discussed you, Brady, on the long run. Toby,
awesome,
telling the story about how he beat you, and then and then when he finished, how you complaining that you haven't been running much.
I haven't been running much at all.
Complain to Toby that you haven't been running enough.
No, he's been doing 20 hours of exercise a week. I've been doing like 3.
You've just got 15 years of like 140K a week under your belt.
It disappears though, Moose, doesn't it? Disappears a bit.
I don't know if it disappears or not.
I reckon it does. I reckon like I'm running at the moment at 430K pace and averaging like 140 beats per minute.
Your heart rate is high at the moment.
I know. I think it's just because I haven't had like Ks under my belt. I'm like waiting for it to drop back down. Because when I'm moving, I can run like that same pace for like 10, 15 beats lower. Every run I go on, I'm like, geez, when's some fitness going to come back? On
Toby's run, like I had a chat to him on Sunday, and so obviously I was pretty critical of his Ballarat marathon and how he thought, I'm going to break 220 and that sort of thing. But I think what he's shown is with the shoe technology, if you can get yourself aerobically really, really fit, I think you can run well up until the half marathon with the super shoes because you don't need the mileage. The shoes will protect you a little bit, although Toby did say the last probably 4K of the half was probably at his limit there. But as I said to him, like in an old pair of shoes, your legs would have been banged up after about 10 or 12K off that mileage, and there's no way you run a good half. So it's sort of good what he's doing. It's showing that, I think you can get a long way with cross training in this day and age with the shoes.
Yeah. Toby, he's also a probably 63-minute guy, and he's just ran 67 and a half.
Yeah, but back in the day, no one's running well off 30K. No one's running
I know exactly
a semi-decent half marathon off 30K.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's not his ceiling. Like if he can get his body right and implement this kind of cross training, he's got minutes to pull off that.
So with that much running, Croaks, what do you think you could pull out for a half?
30K?
Like what he's been doing. If that was you doing the running he's been doing, what do you reckon you could run?
Do you get to do the bike riding?
Well, I don't know. Well, I don't like. That's the thing. I've never done that much cross training to see how fit I could actually get. So I don't know.
Mm.
Like if all I was doing was 30K of running a week, not very fast. Yeah. But if I was doing 20 hours of aerobic activity a week, maybe.
Yep. Yeah. What about you, Brady?
Yeah, same answer. But if it was just 30K at running, not very well at all.
No. 30K run. No, I don't think I would be that good. I think I need the mechanical running stuff to be good. Some people seem to get it without that, and then others have to run a lot to be good at running.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting case study. Done it well though. What have you been doing, Moose? Pull up sore?
Oh, I pulled up so sore. This was good for me, because I think it shows a lot of things I'm missing in my training, and it gives me a little eye-opener as to where I was really at with my fitness and where I was at with the type of training I'm doing and what I need more of, and also just the respect probably that I have again for the distance and the training required to get it right for a marathon. So, because I ran, like, this wasn't that fast, but I felt the effects in the muscles and the even the joints, like I had sore sort of hips and stuff. Mainly it was my calves though. That was the real limiter. So Monday woke up, it was okay. Like in the morning, I probably could have got out for a jog because I hadn't quite hit the peak DOMs. Monday night, I was starting to get sore. Tuesday morning, woke up, I'm not running at all, not even considering it.
Maybe the ginger beers had masked the pain Monday morning.
Yeah. You normally wake up the next day feeling all right. And I think I'd walked a fair bit on Sunday night. And so I woke up, like, I felt like that was probably good for me. But then, yeah, it really hit me once I'd got off the airplane. I think that stiffened me up a lot. And then by the time I got out of the car, driving from the airport home, I'm like, oh boy. So predominantly for me, it was calves and quads. By Tuesday night, the quad DOMs had gone away a little bit, but I live in a house with a lot of stairs, and so I get reminded pretty quickly, like, of if my quads are sore or not, because if I got to go to the bottom, like I go down to the gym to do some Pilates or something, then by the time I get to the bottom, the quads have told me that they're not ready. So I ran Wednesday, or what did I run? Like 6K on the treadie. And the first 3K was fine. And then the quads just started to get a bit sore after that. So I canned it at 30 minutes. I'm not even sure if Ali had written a program for me this week. There was no point because every day I woke up and just assessed how I was and knew how far I could run, what would be a good idea or what wouldn't. I did 10K the following day, and that was still like pretty sore in the calves. And the next day I thought, okay, I'll run an hour just as like a natural progression into the week. I got some new trail shoes. They were not good for calves. They had a very exaggerated rear foot rocker, which kind of makes the shoe feel like a negative pitch or a very low pitch anyway, that loads the calf a little more. So I ran some tracks and it was pretty good in there. It's so much fun. I've been avoiding it though because it tends to flare up my back a little bit. I think it's the unevenness of the trail. And after that run, I started to get an idea of what little niggles had been left behind after the DOMs had left. And I had a little soleus niggle, little calf thing going on the left side. It was just above the Achilles. And it was just real tight if I was doing a bent leg, like calf stretch. So I didn't want to push it too much. I put some new shoes on Saturday morning. There's nothing better as a runner than putting on a fresh pair of Super Blast, is there? I'm not sure if you boys have felt that for a while, but it's pretty special. It's a special morning. So I did that. Ran with Ali and ran with the coach of the Anglesea team down here, Jordan. The Anglesea lost 5 on the trot, going from second to like 5th or 6th. But get this, he's pretty happy with himself though, because he's like got the most ranking points in the league at the moment. So, like someone's all about themselves when they're bragging about their ranking points and they've lost 5 on a trot.
Hang on. So he's playing Saturday Arvo and running with you guys in the morning?
No, they had a bye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they had a bye. And so I said, it must be nice to wake up on Saturday knowing you're not going to lose a game of footy.
Will they make finals? Will they hang on?
If they got to win a few games to get back, they're dropping like flies out there.
Sounds like you're slagging off your local team though. Like, shouldn't you be supporting them? You're really sinking the boots in as they're losing.
It's the reality of it. They lost 5 on the trot. What are you going to say? They're going well?
Should get you in as motivational speaker. Got a real rocket up him. Get him in there.
The next morning, long run, went out to the chocolate factory. It's relatively flat out there, but it's not totally flat. So let me just open this run up. Had a decent little group. Had Toby out there. That was fun. Reliving the weekend. So we had Toby, Ned Verway. Ali came out. Kieran was on the bike. Someone else was there. Oh, Jared was there. Jared McMullen was there. And yeah, we ran 30. I ran 33K. Elevation's 420, which is low for the area for that sort of distance, but probably perfect for what I'm after. I jumped in with Jared's last 20 minutes. So we ran like 2 hours, and then Jared was doing a little workout. He was doing 20 minutes of like marathon effort, and he is a 231 guy, but he's probably not at that fitness at the moment. So I wanted to do some sort of steadier effort at the end, but I didn't actually want to do a workout as such. So I jumped in with his 20 minutes, and we averaged like 3:37s maybe for that 20 minutes. And I felt good. And I've been really practicing this high carb intake on my long runs. So on the Gold Coast, I had like 80 grams an hour, I reckon it was. And in this run here, I had 5 gels in 2 hours and 20 minutes. It just makes you feel so good towards the end of your runs. At no point do you start feeling flat or tired. And I reckon I have that in most long runs in the past that I've done. But just having this really consistent gel intake, it gives you a lot more energy towards the end of the run. Like it's a different experience. I think it could be the future, boys.
It very much is. I feel like this is the massive trend at the moment. Something that we've seen both sides of as well. Like I did fasted. I know you did too, Croaks. I'm sure you did as well. Like you'd never think about. You wouldn't even have breakfast.
Before BWAR, I went so extreme with this stuff. Like I was getting up having black coffee and amino acids and nothing. And then I'd go out and run 37K at 4-minute Ks. It was almost like a badge of honor in a way, like to get through it. And like, to be fair, my body did adapt. Like there's no way when, I was running 100K a week and running track, I could run 2.5 hours without nutrition. I would completely bonk. So my body did adapt to running longer and not needing the fuel. But there's enough science out there now that, you're better off fueling because your run's going to be better, plus you're going to recover better so you can train better the following week.
Yeah. Toby loves it. The cyclists all high carb. The tours, like they put out the numbers of what they're eating, and they're way higher than runners because they get on the bike. But still, like it's so much higher than what you're used to. And the problem is carrying all this fuel. Like if I'm having a gel every 20 to 25 minutes, you're carrying so many gels. We almost have to just come past the car and swap them out. Like dump all the wrappers, grab all your new batch, and off you go again.
But that's where, like, if you're having massive amounts of gels on a run, like for example, on the weekend, I was only doing hour 45 max. I'm like, well, 90 grams may be a little bit too excessive for that run. So I just took individual 30 grams. But like you, Moose, like if you're doing 2.5 hours, it's like take a couple of those 90-gram pouches.
Yeah, the 90 grams are okay, but they're kind of annoying to take. They cut my legs up. So I put the pouches go in my pocket, and they've got quite sharp edges, and they always just dig right into my thighs. And I've still got some recovering cuts from the Gold Coast weekend.
What, from the Lululemon tights?
Yeah, through the Lululemon tights. Yeah,
I've never experienced that.
Different tight, I reckon. You're talking about surge against the fast and free.
The fast and free is thin.
Yeah, you don't get that in the surge, but I reckon I've had a little bit of it coming through in the fast and free.
It wasn't a little bit. Like I was fully bleeding under my tight.
Yeah, way thinner.
Yeah, but and also,
I don't know if that's the gel or if that's the tight.
Well, it doesn't happen on the other thigh.
Oh, you don't have one. Do you have other gels on the other
thigh?
Yeah,
I do. So I think it is that pouch. And also, I was talking to Johnny Squire. He sent me a link today. You can get these, what do they call them? Let me just grab the name of what he's called them. Sorry for this.
Is it a gel precision thing?
No, it's a hydration bladder valve nozzle that you can screw on top of the precision gel, so you don't have to open them, and you can just suck it out like a flask or a bladder end.
And it doesn't leak out the top. It only comes out when you squeeze it or suck it.
Yeah, exactly. So he said that one of his athletes has been using them, and you just replace it before you start your run, and that way you don't have to bother with trying to open it mid-run and then put the lid back on. It's a pretty cool idea, and I'm going to get some and try it, because I like to have this type of precision, like the thicker type of gel early in the race when I can stomach it better. But then I like to move to the thinner gels when it's a little bit more awkward, and I hate having thicker substance in the mouth. So I go to the pure ones later on, because I can literally open it and then just get the whole gel out in one suck and just piff the wrapper, and you're done. There's something really nice about that, not having to have 4 or 5 goes at it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about the long run's the time to practice it though. Like, so much easier getting them down when your heart rate's lower.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like I think I could maybe push 90, 100.
Yeah,
Pretty comfortable.
The problem though is if you're working at such a low heart rate, you're just not burning the carbs to need it.
Yeah. It does help with your energy levels throughout the rest of the day though, especially when you got kids. Takes your appetite fully away though. Like, I can't stomach food for a couple of hours.
Yeah, I know. It's disappointing. You love a smoothie or a chalky milk after, and now you're like, ugh.
Your body's like, we don't need it. You just gave me 100 grams of carbs per hour.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty grim, the feeling afterwards. It sort of ruins the rest of your day, food-wise.
So, Moose, that was 75K for the week, and it's 6 weeks to Sydney this weekend. And you haven't done a lot of marathon-specific stuff yet. Are you going to have a really short taper? Because you should sort of be still on the up, and you probably don't need a very long taper.
I'm not going to hit Sydney with the training I want. Kind of know that now. But I think I can still put together a 5-week block where I get some confidence. And I'm not unfit, but I'm not fit. So I know I can't be stupid on the day at Sydney, because I'm not going to have the fitness where I want it. But there hasn't been a lot more I could be doing because of the limitations the body's placing on training. So even this week, I would have loved to wake up Monday and run 12K and done a workout Tuesday, or a big workout, and done 110K for the week. But we're old enough now to know if you're going to force that, you're going to break down real quick.
So do you think, Moose, because obviously doing these long run specific long runs, you need to be more conditioned to handle those, so you pull up better from them. And at the moment, that's the stuff that seems to be wearing you down. You did an extended tempo, I suppose, on the Gold Coast. I wonder whether for this prep, whether you're better off actually just focusing on a bit more of the traditional method of, hey, just go out long, just get time on your feet on the Sunday, as opposed to trying to run fast at the end of it, and then just do your good quality session, a couple of good quality sessions. And that way you're not going to be, you're still going to get the benefit of being on your feet, building that strength, but you're not going to be as banged up at the start of the week.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. And I think we're taking an approach that's going to be some of that, but I find a lot of value in those Sundays, and I'm not going to go hard like I used to, but it's not going to be just a Sunday jog either.
Yeah.
So it'll be somewhere in the middle, and then I'm going to still do some light thresholds through the week. So for instance, this week, the first workout will just be a standard set of threshold intervals. And then the second workout will be shorter threshold intervals where I run a little bit faster, but not crazy, 3-minute reps at maybe 3:15 pace. And then on Sunday, I'll run 35 to 40K, and there might be some tempo work in there, but not like 320s, 4x5K, some shit like that. So it'll be a tempered effort. So yeah, you're right about that not being the answer for me. I don't have the conditioning to handle that.
Well, that's it. You haven't done the training to do the training.
Exactly.
And if you try and do those hard long runs, it just screws almost the next week.
Be a trap.
Whereas you're like, hey, let's just get 2 good, threshold sessions in throughout the week and just spend time on the feet, especially if you're doing it over hills as well. That's going to get the heart rate up. It's going to build some extra strength, but you're going to pull up better on the Tuesday than you would.
Yeah. And the Tuesday, I'm going to do them Wednesdays. Normally, I'm not this week. This week will be Tuesday, but Wednesdays will be treadmill as well, which is, again, a little bit it's not a cop out, but it takes a bit of the edge off again.
I think Luke Matthews put on Strava a couple of weeks ago. It's for the mentally weak. He reckons treadmill running.
Yeah, Luke Matthews. Geez, I heard a good Luke Matthews story on the weekend. I'll tell you. Oh yeah.
He's always got some good stories.
No, not from him.
Oh, not from him. About him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Croaks knows this one, I think.
Oh, I don't know. Looking forward to getting off air.
Yeah.
Still
this one's not for on air. This is an off-air special, this one.
All right. If you're listening, the chances are you're gearing up for a race. But how dialed in is your race day nutrition? Precision Fuel and Hydration makes it simple with a free online planner to calculate your carb, sodium and fluid needs for peak performance. Their product, like the 90-gram resealable gel, helps you hit your numbers with ease. That's why legends like 4-time Olympian Lisa Waitman and ultra runner Hayden Hawkes trust them too. Head to the link in the show notes to create your personalised strategy and then use code IR-SPRING2025 for 15% off your first order. Or if you're a Patreon supporter, grab your exclusive 20% off discount code from our member-only episodes. Time to level up your performance. Click the link now. Now back to the episode. I'll go through this week. I missed my run Monday. We travelled back. It's a pain in the ass getting back, isn't it? Like, it's a whole day. We were up at 6:30, out of the hotel at 7, picked up the kids, I think 5, back to maybe 4, back to Echuca for dinner, bathed the kids, put them to bed. It was 7:30. Thought about going to run on the treadmill for an hour, but I was tired, so I just went to bed.
You live so far away, though. This is not a normal place to live for listeners out there.
Well, but there's pretty regional spots in Australia. Probably not so much for people overseas, but yeah, got to get to the airport and then like a 3-hour drive to get home. So a choose up your day. Good to see the kids though, because we left them in Bendigo while we went up to the Gold Coast. Tuesday got out for 70 minutes at 4:42 pace. Quads were a bit banged up, but that was the only like significant DOMs I could kind of feel a couple of days after the race. Wednesday did 50 minutes in the morning at 4:43s and then 40 minutes on the treadmill in the afternoon. Thursday did 70 minutes and strides. Nathan Pearce was in town, boys, Australia's #1 trail runner. And the Garmin, what's his role at Garmin, Moose? He said he was in your store not so long ago.
Sales representative.
Okay. He was showing me off the new watch. It looks pretty good. He absolutely smoked me in the strides. We did 4 by 15 seconds. Nothing worse than getting smoked in strides. Just really makes you feel old.
By a trail runner.
Yeah, well, he's also a 3:49 guy or something, isn't he? He's got some range.
He ran on the weekend. Where did he come at Ballarat?
30th or something, I think. That was the topic of conversation for a while. Like, has the XCR season lost its prestige?
Oh, what? Just because bats aren't on top?
He was talking about it, mate, and he's on the team that was on top. They got rolled on the weekend, though. We'll get to that a bit later. But he reckons, like, some of the courses have got a bit too easy. You don't have to wear spikes anymore. Like, that 5K, like, they're trying to, like, maybe, this is probably more my words than his. I don't want to be throwing Nath under the bus here, because when we were jogging together, I was like, none of this will go on air. But we were talking about it, and a lot of it made sense. Like, the course is a bit easier. Maybe trying to get more of that running boom, recreational running crowd to come into it, which I 100% agree with, that it's probably a good move to try to capitalize on the running boom. but you also don't want to lose your core. Like the lack of promotion of like the top end, like you never really see like, hey, this is the winning team or this is the champion athlete of the year at 6 rounds in. So yeah, we had a good chat. He could talk to anyone, that guy. He could talk underwater. He's the best talker in Australian distance running, I reckon. Enjoyed running with him for 70 minutes Thursday. Friday, did a workout, 12 by 3 minutes off 1 minute walk, averaged around 3:12 pace for the 3 minute efforts, which this is good evidence. Like this is the pace I ran for 21K last weekend, and this felt fine for me to do a workout at this pace. I think people get carried away sometimes and push the envelope, me included, but doing workouts at a pace you can run a half marathon in is completely fine under training conditions.
But you're doing, like most people aren't doing 12 3-minute reps either.
That's
so like
a lot.
12's getting closer to half marathon distance, whereas most people 6 or 8. There's a big difference between 6 and 8 and 12.
Only 36 minutes worth of work though.
Yeah, but there's still a big difference in terms of 6 reps or 8 reps versus 12.
Yeah, these are more like threshy reps than what people usually do when they're doing 3 minute reps, VO2. I wore the Metaspeed Sky Tokyo, which I tried to get the keys to the Shoe Geeks Instagram page, Croaks, but they wouldn't give them to me. I was
on the treadmill when all your messages are coming through.
That's a bloody good shoe. So we might have to cut this out if it feels like I say something wrong about the shoe moves, because I'm not sure how much you're allowed to say. But I very thankfully from ASICS got the Metaspeed Sky Tokyo and the Metaspeed Edge Tokyo. And I raced Ballarat Marathon in the Edge and always thought like the Edge was the more like, I don't know, better racing shoe. I thought like the Sky was maybe the poor cousin of the relationship. So last week I ran the half marathon in the Edge, and then I just put this Sky on for this workout thinking it might be a bit lesser, but it was a great shoe. It was light. It was soft. I felt like I was covering the ground really well in it, to the stage when I got to the end of the workout thinking maybe I've put the wrong shoe on. Maybe I've accidentally put the Edge on. Like this, I could not tell any difference between them at all. They are both amazing shoes.
Yeah, that was my comment. It was like, you basically then said the Sky was better, but then you said in the message group, I don't know, I can't tell the difference between them.
Yeah, because they're both good. Both real good. I don't know. Yeah, maybe a take back. Maybe you shouldn't text when you're like fresh off a workout. You know that first like 1 minute when you get to your phone.
If a winemaker dished you up like their Shiraz, right? It's award-winning Shiraz.
Oh, yeah.
And then they also, in another glass, they poured their Cab Sav.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, they're both good. But I just don't know which one I like. Like, I don't know if I like them more. I like them different. That could be what you're feeling, you reckon? Something like that?
Maybe there was maybe they're both good, but I just couldn't identify why they were both good. But anyway, it's a good problem to have when they're both good.
I think what's confused Brady as well is they both look the same. They're both the same colour. So he's like, must be the same shoe. I wear these to the pub. Nobody can tell the difference, so they must be the same shoe.
Yeah, they should do a different colourway at least, shouldn't they, Moose?
I would have liked a different colourway. It's going to make our job hard in store, packing boxes up. But there's some key differences. I think didn't I talk about this on the...
Yeah, maybe you did somewhere.
On the podcast last week on the live show.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
So go back and listen to that. Or
make a video when you're allowed to. Make a video on Shoe Geeks for me.
Well, we got Shoe Geeks episode. We're
page.
trying to make it next week, but it's hard to get everyone together on that. We're trying hard. I'm trying, boys.
I get it. Busy days for those boys. Big dog professionals and stuff. That was good. It was good to do a workout after jogging for the week. Did 45 minutes on the treadmill that afternoon. Been adding some hills in on the treadmill. So like, because it gets a bit boring on there, especially when you're on there for 45 minutes. So like I put the incline up 1 every minute for 5 minutes and then drop it back down to 0. So that gives you a 10-minute cycle. And then you're like, all right, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 gets pretty tough by the time you hit that minute. Drop it back down again. So that was a fun way to pass the night, Friday night on the treadmill for 45 minutes. Saturday, 45 minutes easy, 4:43s. Sunday, local long run with Anthony. He come on the bike, which was good to have some company. Haven't seen him since before Paris, so had a couple of stories for him. Did 2 hours at 4:30 pace. Didn't look at this at all, like when I was running. But yeah, heart rate average was 138, which I'd love to get that down a bit. But in saying that, this is my first long run in 3 weeks, so bit of consistency, and I'll be right. That was a week of 113 kilometres. training week this week.
Body good, Brady? No,
Body-
like that groin stuff's gone?
Nah, it's pretty much gone, Croaks. I mean, I had some plyometrics put in my program today to work on this running economy because obviously I'm rolling a 77 VO2, but we've got to start making some adjustments to. So I was doing hops and stuff like that up the street today. I'm terrible at that stuff too. Should have seen me trying to hop on one leg, forward motion.
Yeah.
That's why we're working on them.
So what races do you have locked in between now and Valencia?
Yeah, no, I've got to get us. Well, not I do. I'm going to help out the run for my team, the Bendigo Bats, next week at Albert Park 10K, which kind of annoys me because I'm like, I just want to string 4 weeks together. Give me 4 long runs, 8 workouts, but I'm going to run the 10K at Albert Park, and then maybe 2 weeks after that is the 15K at Ballarat. So, yeah. And because I'm sitting in the car for 3 hours each way to do them, I don't want to just train through and use it as a tempo. I actually want to, maybe I can run 30-30, 30-45 next week at Albert Park. And then I'm planning to do Melbourne half marathon in the lead up to Valencia as a decent crack.
Yeah.
Which should be good. And I'll probably do something at Burnley half as well, but that might be more of a progression run or train and run, something like that. But yeah, bits mapped out. But we've still got 18 weeks, Crooks. We got ages.
Yeah. That's why I reckon it's good doing some races before you start the marathon block.
Yeah. Yeah. While you can as well. Should we thank some Patreon supporters? Who you got, Crooks?
I got Tim O'Dell. So Tim's from Canberra, and I've been coaching Tim for maybe 2-3 years now. His 5K PB came during a track time trial where I paced him to 19:15.
Croaks.
Yep.
This is Tim's shout out, mate, not your own shout out.
His 10K PB is 40:45 from the 2023 Sydney Marathon 10K, and he's run 91 minutes at the 2023 Melbourne Half Marathon. He works at Griffith Butcher, which is family owned, has a very good reputation in Canberra. He was also the Lululemon store ambassador last year here in Canberra. So he's got a little bit of a run squad that they do on a Sunday morning down at the lake. So absolutely loves his running. He's only got into it, the last 5 years or so. Good man, Tim.
So is he the butcher?
He was at the live show. Yeah, he's a butcher. Yep.
Yeah. He's good looking for a butcher, isn't he?
His whole family's, so his old man opened up the business, and then his brothers, I think, worked there as well.
Love that. That was my first job, boys, ever. Butcher's knife hand. Used to go in, work 5 till 8 before school, help the butchers out.
It is hard. It's hard for him to combine the running because he's on his feet all day.
Yeah.
Also works.
And they start early. Does he start early? He'll be in the shop at 5, 6 a.m. every day.
Well, he organises so that he can go to the Friday morning group session. So, that doesn't finish till probably 8 o'clock. So Friday morning he wouldn't work there, but he works Saturday morning. So, it's almost impossible for him to get out and do a park run or something. And then if he wants to go and do a track race in the afternoon, he's been at work all morning. So it's really hard to combine the running with work sometimes for Tim.
Local butchers would still be, there's not many of them around anymore. Like the supermarket's kind of taken over.
Yeah. But this butcher in Canberra's got a really good reputation.
You buy your meat there, Croaks?
I don't. It's about a 40-minute drive.
Croaks, come on,
Croaks,
mate.
Support local, mate.
Yeah.
He's supporting us. You can support
40
him.
minutes. 40 minutes, not real local.
Next time, driving past after work or something.
Yeah. Anyway, anyone in Canberra, get to Griffith Butcher.
Get there. See Tim. He'll hook you up with a good deal on your chops. Moose, who are you thinking?
I have Josephine Borthwick. So she lives in Lismore, New South Wales. She's run 37:05 at the 2023 Gold Coast 10K and then 84 minutes at the 2022 Burnley half. I think she is part of the Vigor running group. It's Liam Delaney is the coach there. And Liam Delaney is the brother of
Zoe
Delaney, who is our Axel Coffee good friend. Where are we at here? And she's run for Collingwood. So, yes, that probably confirms that because they're a big Collingwood family, the Delaneys, and also Vigor. She's the senior manager of service planning at Healthy North Coast. that's some sort of government department, is it, Croaks?
In the health industry.
Health industry, yeah. They're pretty healthy up there at northern New South Wales. It's a very healthy part of the world. Everyone's active. Everyone seems very fit. You spend a bit of time around there, Lismore area?
No, never. Like I haven't spent much time on the North Coast at all.
Yeah, I reckon
Bad flooding and stuff happens there, doesn't it?
Yeah, they've had a few bad episodes over the last few years.
Yeah, Lismore got hit bad. I remember that.
Yeah, thanks, Josephine, for your support of the show. I'm going to thank Adam Barker from Kilmore in Victoria, about half an hour out of Melbourne, I'd say. He runs for Mentone, has run 16:21 at the recent Albert Park 5K, 33:31 at the 2023 Run Pre 10K, 76:25 at the 2023 Shepparton Half Marathon, and 2:37. Geez, tell me which PB is the best out of these ones, boys, at the 2023 Melbourne Marathon. Get this for his title. He is possibly a mining account manager at Fuchs Lubricants. So knows his lube as well. What's the best PB?
The 5 or the 10, I reckon.
The marathon, I reckon.
It's pretty good range.
So, yeah, I don't know. Like I compare him. So Rob Wilson has run quicker than 2:37, but he hasn't run 16:20.
Rob's a unicorn though, Croaks.
He's a marathoner.
I don't think Rob's broken 34 minutes for 10.
Okay, maybe this bloke's got but we're going off a park run. Can't really do that.
No, Albert Park 5K.
No,
it's not. No, it's a 5K. It's a 5K.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, no, that's my bad. And you reckon that was short, don't you, Brady?
I never said that.
You didn't say it publicly, but I've heard you say it.
Come on, Brady. You can't go claiming courses are short when they're legit.
Come
Brady,
on, me under the bus. I know someone, though, that is very sceptical about those results, and it's not me, but someone was very vocal about it up at the Gold Coast on the weekend, and they compared some 5K times at Albert Park 5K against some 10K times at Gold Coast Half Marathon, and he said, Marathon Festival, and he just said, doesn't stack up. But you can have special days.
But look at my boy Ed Marks. He ran 13:57 at Albert Park. He's more than capable of running. He's run faster than that on the track.
Yeah, something just happened to the people between 15 and 17 minutes at Albert Park.
What do you mean something happened to them?
Something happened. Like all those people just ran out of their skin.
Oh, yeah.
The first guys weren't.
There's a few mid-14s, low 14s, high 14s that may never do that ever again.
Yeah, it's on their profile though. It's been approved. It's been sent off. Thank you to all our Patreon supporters who support the Inside Running podcast. If you like what we do, you can sign up for as little as $5 a month to support the show. Keep us going. That's what's got us to 402 episodes. If you want bonus content as well, there's another level for that. The monthly boys, they were in good form last week. Did you guys listen to that? What about Chriso's training?
Yeah, I listened on my Saturday morning run.
If he stays in one piece, it is incredible what he's putting together at the moment under Canova. Toby's on there as well. We've also got, I actually went through, boys, because we'll talk about our Road to Sydney episode today, but I went through all the other Road 2 series as we've put out over the years, and there's a lot of them, and they're all accessible. So if you want bonus content, just get what we're putting out now. You get everything that we've ever put out in the history of the show onto Patreon. So can you have a listen to some of these ones? Obviously, that's how we started, us three, with a Road to Berlin in 2017. That's not on Patreon. You have to check that and tell me your tales. But we had Sinead and Ali do Road to New York 2019, Road to London 2020, Ali, Nick Earl and Joel Tobin White, Road to Valencia, Clousey, Paul Martelletti, Pete Grice.
That was good. That was a good one.
That was a good one. We met some characters in that road too. Road to Valencia 2022. That was Chris O'Mee and the Bad Boy. So that was when we first learned who the Bad Boy was. Road to Osaka, Rach McGuinness, Moose, Reese Edwards. Road to London 2023, Sinead, Ali and Nick Earl. Road to Gold Coast, me, Tim Vincent. Remember Tim Vincent? We got his stock real early before he broke through, and what's he, sub 210 now, about to go to the World Champs.
Got his own podcast too.
Got his own podcast now, yeah. Ed Goddard was on that one as well. Christo did a solo one, Road to Berlin 2023. That was actually fun.
Sounds like Chris. So boys, I'll do one on my own.
Oh, maybe that wasn't 2023. I don't know what year that was. But then we had Paddy Stowe, Jimmy Friend, and Rob. They were rode to Berlin, rode to Gold Coast, Reese Edwards, Sam Hopper, Carla Chweck, rode to Chicago last year, and Massey, Tom Middleton, and myself rode to Valencia last year, Chris Owen Jordo. Hope I haven't missed anyone. But just if you want content, most of those series are 10 episodes, and they're all on the Patreon feed there. And hopefully
we also had a road to nowhere.
Well, that was the road to London that turned into road to nowhere.
Yeah.
Because remember, COVID cancelled their race. Ali, Nick, and Joel. So
yeah, but then we had the road to nowhere with remember Luke Matthews was on.
No, that was called the long and the short of it.
Oh, the long and the short of it. Sorry, that's another.
Luke Matthews, Louis McCaffrey. Yeah, there's another. Yeah, the curse has wiped out a lot of people in that that I just said as well. Anyway, I'm gonna hopefully get someone on the line shortly in about 8 minutes' time for our new Road to Sydney episode. We'll see how that goes. Series. Let's go for some running news first, boys. With thanks to Axel Coffee, our race results partner, and the secret to starting every run on the right foot. Nothing beats a good coffee before hitting the pavement. Monaco Diamond League Crogs, all accessible on YouTube, easy to watch.
Yeah, and we had a couple of Aussie records. Did you guys watch this?
I went back on the replay and I've watched bits and pieces, not full races of the steeple, the 5K, but I watched the 800 and the 1K.
All right, I'll try and recap it. Men's 800. So Wanyonyi, he was basically, he just controlled the race, was right on the pacemaker, continued to push when the pacemaker pulled out. He got the win, 141.44, which was a meet record. Hoey was second, 142.02, and I think that put him second fastest US runner of all time. And Sajati was third, 142.2. Pete Bowl broke his own Australian record running 142.55, so he took about 1.2 seconds off. And if you go back and watch it, he was basically last with 250 to go. His last 250 was incredible. But I sort of sensed this was coming because when he broke the Aussie record here in Australia, I think it was, he sort of, it was Nationals, wasn't it?
Yeah, Perth.
Yeah, but he sort of slowed down before the finish line and celebrated a little bit. So you're like, okay, well, he should go faster than that. But into the 142s, he's back, Pete.
Big way.
Really weaved through that last 200 metres too, didn't he? Like just zigzag through traffic.
Yeah, that was such an impressive finish. And it just goes to show in the 800, like those guys that have just gone a little bit too quick, like he may not have really accelerated that much. Like I don't know his splits, but it's often the 800, it's more about just maintaining pace, whereas the other guys are just slowing down massively because the pianos jumped on their back with the lactic acid.
What did they go through for 400 in? Do you remember?
49, I reckon.
Yeah. So Justin Rinaldi coaches Hoey, the American, in second and Pete Bowl in fourth, both running 142s.
Yeah.
He's got to be the best 800-metre coach in the world, doesn't he? See what happens at the World Champs. But if he gets two finalists, only 8 people in the final.
Yeah, and when you consider that race pretty much had the whole Olympic final, like Pete Bowl beat Marco Arop, like who's probably been the form 800-metre runner at the start of the season anyway, especially in those Grand Slam track meets. So anyway, that was the 800. Women's 1K. So we had Aussie Tess Kersop-Cole. She paced for about 550 metres, I suppose, before she sort of pulled out into lane 2 or 3. Jess Hull was right on her. So they went through 400 in 58.5 seconds, through 800 in 158.41, and Jess was in front all the way up until maybe 200 to go when Nelly Chepchirchir went past her, and then Addison Wiley from the US got Jess with maybe 40 metres to go. So Nelly Chepchirchir got the win, 229.77. Addison Wiley second, 230.71. And Jess Hull was third, 230.96. So that took close to 2 seconds off Abby Caldwell's national record. And Sarah Billings was seventh in 233.17. Any thoughts?
Jess is really putting herself in races to win, isn't she? Like, she's not racing for second and third and maybe, trying to pick off someone in the last 50 metres. She's like putting herself in that position. We saw it with Faith Yeagon the week before.
Yeah, which is sort of one of my questions. Like with these fast races like a Diamond League, she is almost treating it as an opportunity to just test herself and see how far she can go. But the last couple of races, it has cost her in the home straight. A few people have gone past her because she's been so aggressive. Whereas, does she change her tactics when it comes to, like, if those Diamond Leagues were a major championship, is she going to run them differently? Yeah. I think she might, or she might have to, if she doesn't want those girls, sitting on her and coming through in the last 50.
Yeah, there will be a plan. This will be a phase of the season.
Yeah, I guess there's nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose in these ones. It's like go and test yourself.
Go back and I listened to the interview. Maybe Athletics Australia shared it after Monaco. Where did she race last weekend? Not Monaco. Last Sunday morning, Prefontaine Classic.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to the interview, especially if you got kids. 5-minute interview. She speaks to the reporter afterwards. Just all the right answers. Nails it. Nail media.
Great ambassador.
Yeah.
Men's 5K. So Kajelcha got the win here, 12:49. Jimmy Gressier was second, 12:53.36, and Bailu was third, 12:53.51. Interesting race. It was a bit similar to Kajelcha's last Diamond League. They went through 3K in 7:39, maybe not quite as quick as the last 5K that he did. And at that point, there was only Kajelcha, Almgren, Gebrawet, and Bailu sort of left in that group. About 100 metres later, Almgren, he pulled out and Kajelcha kicked away, had a pretty decent gap, like he did at which Diamond League was it? Was it Paris maybe? But once again, he sort of faded the last 2 laps. So he ran 62 and a 65, not quite as bad as a couple of weeks ago, but he's on that sort of closer to 12:40 pace for the first, 4K, and then sort of seems to fade, which he's one of my favourite runners, I reckon, because he always puts it out there and he comes across as human because he doesn't always just run away from the lights. And so the last event at the Monaco Diamond League was the men's steeple. I sort of fast forwarded this, but it ended up being a really interesting race. So El Bakali at the bell had a 50-metre lead on the rest of the field and got caught at the last jump by Ryuji Miura from Japan. But El Bakali was able to, which he does so often, he gets caught on the last jump, but is able to then kick away in that last 30 metres. So he got the win in 8:03.18. Miura from Japan, 8:03.43, which was a new Japanese record. And Edmund Serum was third in 8:04. That's the Monaco Diamond League.
Yeah, El Bakali knows how to win. I feel like it's a name I really only hear every year when the World Champs or Olympics come around.
50 metres at the bell.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Yeah. I actually saw that, and then I just kept skipping and El Bakali's won again. I didn't actually watch the last lap knowing that someone come close to him. Hey, I need to pause you there for running news, though, because I think I've got, just let me hit dial here. I think I've got one of our guests of Road to Sydney teed up to give us a bit of a introduction about who they are. Can you hear that ringtone? Don't get nervous around this guest. It's a really big name. Really, really big name. Guest, still ringing. Road to Sydney guest, have I got you there? Just give me a yes or no.
Yes, you've got me here.
We're going to play a quick game, guest, just to see if the listeners can identify who you are, okay? So there's yes or no questions only. I've got 5 or 6 ready to read out to you. You okay with that, yes or no?
Yes.
All right. Have you represented Australia before, guest?
Yes.
Okay, that's very good. Is it true that you've had a history of playing soccer?
Yeah.
Yeah, got that when I typed your name into ChatGPT today and asked me to come up with a bio. So that's a good little fact. Have you run a marathon before? So we know you're lining up for Road to Sydney, but have you actually? Is this your debut?
Yeah. No, not debut.
We're not sure on that one, but no,
you're confusing the guest there, Brady.
Just ask the question, Brady.
Definitely not a debut. Next one. Is it true that you may have won the City of the Surf, the Burnie 10, and the Zatopek 10 before?
Yeah.
Oh, good wins here, boys. Good winners list. Have you ever been half-stepped by Croaks during a long run at Mulligan's before?
Yeah.
And did you win the Gold Coast Half Marathon last weekend in 69:14 by any chance?
Yes, I did.
Welcome, Leanne Pompiani, to the Road to Sydney, back to the Inside Running podcast. We haven't revealed the other 2 guests yet, so just on a scale of 1 to 10, though, you know who they are. How excited are you to be working with those other 2 people?
Yeah, this will be fun. This will be a lot of fun. And
This will be really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just a quick check-in tonight. How'd you pull up after Gold Coast?
Muscles were a lot more sore than I've ever pulled up after a half. Very unusual, but if only Croaks had seen my training prior, and I hadn't done a lot, so I put that down to not much running, and then I did a half, and the DOMS was like getting up there with marathon sort of DOMS.
Yeah, because we did hear, because you were down to a run world champs. So like the decision to jump from world champs to Sydney, what was the thinking behind that?
Yeah, I feel like I said to Jess earlier in the week, it's great when we get to come on here because we can explain ourselves and defend ourselves rather than, out on a run and you hear something being said and you can't defend yourself. But yeah, it was I mean, both options really good. Like, I would love to do both, and one or the other is, there's no bad option. But I think just world champs being as hot as we think it's going to be, I don't particularly love running in the heat. And from, what we've seen at Bathurst, I'm not particularly very good at it. And it does cause me a fair bit of anxiety, training and racing in the heat. So that was one thing. Sydney is just such a big thing this year. I sort of, of course, Sydney is going to be happening every year now as a major. And hopefully this isn't the only world champs team I make. Hopefully I do make more. But I think just the timing, this was pretty big with the financial opportunity. Obviously nothing's guaranteed, but there's the money for the Aussies. And just the first year that it's a major, it's going to be really good for us as athletes, just with the public and all that. And yeah, I mean, neither option I think was a bad one, but Sydney's pretty good.
Yeah, well put. Any questions before we let her go, boys?
Yeah, so ASICS is your sponsor, Leanne, and ASICS is a Sydney race. Was there pressure or incentives as an athlete from the major sponsor?
I think that more came after I said I was doing it. There was no real there was no pressure for me as an ASICS athlete to do it. Whereas some other, smaller events, sometimes they need ASICS athletes showing. But this was my decision, and then once we say yes, or once I said yes, it was they're all on board, and they sort of get around you and sort of build you up a little bit more before the day. Yeah.
And Leanne, given how, I guess, patchy your training has been over the last 4 to 6 weeks, like to come that close to your PB on the Gold Coast, must have surprised you a little bit?
Yeah, that was I'm glad. That was a pleasant surprise. And I honestly think I could have run a lot faster that day, even just thinking back how it wasn't easy, but that was probably one of the easiest half marathons I've done. I went in, obviously I think Des counted, I only had 5 actual sessions before that. And I had, like you said, real patchy training for 7 weeks prior. And going into that race, that was more of a just start and see how you feel. I just had to feel it out. Through 10K, I was like, okay, this is feeling quite comfortable. My breathing was well under control. I knew I was going to kick it down a little bit in the second half. And then that sort of just gives me a little bit more confidence because I was panicking. I spoke to you at the track 2 weeks ago, and I was saying how I was feeling quite anxious because my window seemed quite short. The doors felt like it was closing for Sydney. But now that I realise I'm actually not as far away as I thought I was, I'm panicking a lot less.
Yeah. And did you do a heap of cross training in that period? Were you doing hours and hours on the bike or the elliptical to maintain fitness, or just natural?
No, I was on the elliptical. Yeah, and there were some really tough sessions that I did, and it got harder as the injury sort of dragged out. Your motivation definitely you struggle. I find long injuries really just weigh down. To keep the motivation for cross training for a long time is really hard, and it definitely started slowing down as the weeks sort of went past, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. But yeah, there was a lot of elliptical in there.
Thanks for being involved. Oh, you got us another question, Moose?
Yeah, I was
you got
going
to
to
save
say.
some stuff for episode 1. Don't go talking about it all now.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, don't waste all the good stuff.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
waste all the
I've got a lot
content.
to
We'll get in. We'll be hearing. We'll
Can't
be hearing
wait.
on Patreon about that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So massive thanks for being involved, Leanne. Sorry to take up some time on your Monday night, but yeah,
That's
can't
fine.
wait to listen to your build up, which is, off that, what was it, 2:24.50 debut, fastest ever in history. Like round 2, you would have learned so many lessons, and it's going to be great to listen to how you implement those lessons. And it's the biggest race that Australian could win, I feel, this year,
Yeah.
Sydney Marathon. And yeah, you're going to be. I said on our Patreon show last week when I was talking to Chris and Toby that I feel like potentially Lisa and Jess, they're worried about each other, but they're really having nightmares about what you can do to them on that course as well. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see it all unfold and hear about it weekly.
Yep, looking forward to it.
All right, thanks, Leanne. See you later.
Thank you. Yeah, chat later.
Leanne.
See ya.
Bye. She's going to be a star, fellas. Sorry, though, Croaks. Back to runner news. What are we up to? It's me, the Morton Games over in Dublin. I was talking to one of the organisers, Declan. He sent me an email with some of the details, talking about the history of Herb Elliott and Albie Thomas when they set world records at this Morton Stadium back in August in 1958. Pretty rare to get emails off race directors like that, kind of, very interested in the show and talking about the Aussies in action there. So there was a mile. We had Stewie in there. He was 6th in 3:53.15. Jackson Sharp was 7th in 3:53.2. Matt Ramsden was 9th in 3:55, and it was won by Andrew Coscoran, the guy who won Zatopek a few years ago. First 5 Irish or people across a line were locals, Irishmen. That was pretty cool to see. We also had Klara in the women's 1500. She ran a big PB of 4:07 to finish 6th, which is the 18th fastest Aussie of all time. So a bit of a name to watch there.
Do you know who she's equal with now? Equal 18th with Benita. Same time as Benita ran for 1500.
Good fact for you there, Croaks.
Yep.
Ah, good from you. And then early in the week, there was a meet in Cork, and Stewie ran 7:44 for the 3K, and got beaten by Jackson Sharp, who ran 7:38, who became the 9th fastest Aussie ever. So a bit of Stewie's just raced himself back into fitness, hopefully. Hopefully we see, because I was kind of like keen for him to see him drop down to, out of the Diamond League to these kind of meets and start beating up on some people. But it might take a couple of runs to start doing the beating.
Yeah, like it's so hard to see. Like you see Stewie is like the best in the world or one of the best in the world, and 3:53 for 6 when you've got races being won in 3:47, like 48, like it's a long, like that's a lot in a mile.
Certainly is, but hopefully just keeps making little progressions each meet. Other results, Moose? Well, I know, Croaks, what do you got here?
Yes, so there's a heap of Aussies racing around the world at the moment, obviously trying to get points for world champs or get the times. But Seth O'Donnell, he kicked off his European season in Belgium with a 1500. He ran 3:37.82 to finish 3rd. Fellow Aussie, Alex Stitt, remember we mentioned him a few weeks back, runs for Oklahoma State. He won the race in 3:37.13. Over in the Sound running meet in the US, Lauren Ryan, she ran a 2-second PB in the 5K, 14:55, finished 4th. Race was won in 14:48. And Jack Rayner, he also kicked off his European season with a 3K in France. He ran 7:48 to finish 7th. The race was won in 7:41. So I guess some mixed results there. Like obviously Jack probably not overly happy with that time, but bit of a rust buster, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because he was injured, wasn't he? He's back. This is his first race in ages.
Yeah.
If someone told you 6 months ago that Jackson Sharp, Stewie, and Jack Rayner are all going to run 3K races and Jackson Sharp's going to be the quickest, would have said put 20 slabs on it.
Yeah.
Of course, to the Jack one, but...
I don't know. Jackson Sharp's an Olympian.
He's not. He's Jackson Sharp. Which Olympics did he go to?
What am I?
Good college runner, Wisconsin.
Moose.
What have I got wrong there?
He was your one to watch, I reckon, one year.
He's signed
But-
for
That could be
Hoka.
it. That could
But
be it.
calling him an Olympian is a
Jeez.
big step up.
I
NAZ
butchered that,
elite.
didn't I? No, he qualified for the Olympics, so he was on the selection. He was on the chopping block for it, and he got chopped.
Did he
Was he?
qualify for the
No.
Olympics?
Which event?
Oh yeah,
5K.
sure.
You're not
What have I
confusing
got
him with Morgan McDonald,
Yes.
are you? Same
Why am I
college.
so far off here? Let me find this. I might have really butchered this.
Well, to hold that for a second. Tell us about these cross-country results.
Maybe you were
3
talking
different
about.
states.
I reckon you were talking about World Cross, Moose. Was
Ooh,
he the one that
yeah.
missed out on World Cross?
Yeah, I reckon he did. And I think he came 6th or something, didn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
I reckon he was in the top 6, but they didn't
You
take him.
looked after me there. You
Selector's
really
discretion.
looked after me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm well off there. Sorry.
Cross-country results, Moose.
Yes, well, finally some Australian news. So, down in Victoria, we had the Vic Cross Country Champs, and it's held at Ballarat, a bit of a tester for the Nationals course later this year. It's on a flat area of Vic Park, and to be honest, I didn't hear a lot of great things about this course. I'm not sure what fed up through the Bendigo Bats team, but from what I heard, a little bit uninspiring, the course down there at Vic Park, and just disappoints me that we couldn't have gone out to the university or something like that, where there's good hills, there's proven cross-country courses out there. Something about Ballarat and hills, we should always like link those two up. Anyway, Ed Marks won the men's 29-23. He's pretty much dominated this race. Aidan Felton was second in 30-12, and Getafe Ashanif was third in 30-19. So that's a huge win from Ed Marks.
Mm.
In the teams, Knox won the men's. That's a big win. Beat Melbourne Uni. That's a big second. And Western Aths third. So they do not go through the season undefeated. Clean slate. They'll still win the title, but they're not going to be undefeated. So good from Knox. How'd Bendigo go?
Yeah, we were last. We were the bottom. We've just got we come second or we come last. There's nothing in between at the moment. So I think we're safe of relegation just at the moment. You guys might be still below us and Mentone.
Us and Mentone are going to be fighting for it. And it's going to come down to a few key races, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have had some like wins, right?
Nah, just seconds.
Oh,
Western
second.
A's have been beating us, but yeah, when we roll our team out, we can come second.
But you only need a couple, because you get so many points, I guess, for second. Like you only need a couple of them, and you can then afford to come last.
That's exactly what we're thinking, Croaks. This is our game plan for the rest of the year.
You're safe there.
Bit of an S, because we're calling up old people like Croaks to put on a singlet. Archie will be getting a message. Paddy Stowe, like some of these old heroes to put your singlet back on to keep us out of the relegation zone.
In the ladies, local runner Catherine Dowie won 35-13. She beat Charlotte Wilson 35-22, and Donve Filion ran 35-41. So Catherine's won a few races this year, if not all races. I can't confirm because we're a little lot deep into the season, but she has been very good, dominant in the Victorian season. In the team, Sandringham won. They had a very short score, 55 points. Western Athletics second, 141, and South Melbourne 166 for third.
Hey, can I just pause you there because I got someone else on the line? Is that all right? If I just got someone else who just got to jump in. Sorry about running news taking so long tonight, but this next guest is also doing Road to Sydney this year, Croaks, and just got him on the line at the moment. Don't get nervous around this guy either. Looked up to this bloke for many years, Croaks, over the years. Followed him from his college days. Actually, me and him ran in the same team as each for the XCR champs. And you're going to get a bit of a 2-for-1 deal with this person because not only coaching knowledge, running knowledge, but also the shoe knowledge as well, Croaks. He finished 4th Aussie at the Sydney Marathon back in 2023. So has a bit of success there and has featured on a Road to series before, but unfortunately that Road to season ended in a DNF. Julian Spence, I got you on the line.
I'm here. I'm trying to work out who it was you were talking about. And then
Thanks.
I realized, hey, my phone's ringing.
Thanks for being involved, Julian. You're
Look,
back.
it took a bit of convincing when I heard who the third guest was, but I'm here. I'm on.
We'll get to him shortly. Why Sydney, Julian?
Sydney, I liked it when I did it 2 years ago. I thought it was a really good event. And there's not going to be too many chances for me to run a major marathon anymore. So I'm gonna really get behind Sydney. I think they've done all the right moves. They've made the right changes over the past few years. They've made decisions based around the runner, and I'm a runner. So I want to take advantage of those decisions.
Yeah, we're going to miss you for 7 weeks, but it does give us the opportunity to have a guest host. So we'll get to hear from some different individuals for 7 weeks. But, being on a show with Leanne for 7 weeks is going to be fun, isn't it? She's a champ. She's a gun.
Funnily enough, I had a run of hers pop up on Strava, and it's the first time I've ever seen that. And I think I requested to follow her maybe 18 months ago, but perhaps longer. And she's just left me hanging there for 18 months plus, and then finally she's hit the accept button, and so here I am following Leanne on Strava.
I think if you can half whatever her mileage is going to be over the next 6 weeks, 7 weeks leading in, you're probably going to have a good race.
Yeah, I was just thinking before, maybe I should run with her.
Could she beat you?
She could definitely beat me. Oh, high chance.
Yeah.
High chance of that.
Well, that's my question, Moose. So often on episode 1 of these Road 2 series, people put their goals out there. So give the listeners a little bit of a teaser. What is your goal for Sydney?
Well, you're going to have to tune in for that, Croaks.
I'm
not going to give away goals.
Subscription.
That is an episode 1 type question, and we're not there yet.
Yeah, but you want to give people a little bit of a teaser.
Well, I'm going to be racing it to the best of my ability.
Oh, come on,
I'm going to be
exhausting
exhausting
answer
myself.
that one.
I'm going to be going into the well, and whatever that leads to, whether it's 2:11 or 2:13, I'll be happy. So somewhere between those two, I reckon.
I reckon it might be to beat your other co-host on the Road 2 series. That could be a good goal.
We'll get to him shortly. We've got to go back to running news. Thanks for joining us, Julian Spence. Hear from you next week on the road to Sydney. New South Wales short course, Moose.
Yep. So 7.5K, they're calling that short course. How's that figure, Croaks?
Well, it's shorter than the 10K.
That's crazy stuff up there. They've got some weird things going on in New South Wales. So, Kate's, why don't they just call it like a cross-country round?
Well, it could be, but they just call it short course. And so, because back in the day, the long course used to be 12K. And so then they used to have like a 7.5K cross-country as sort of a short course. Whereas now the short course is not that much shorter than the 10K.
Yeah, so Victoria has like an 8K cross-country, but we just don't call it our state champs.
Yeah, but they mightn't have many rounds, Moose. So it's like short course, long course. That could be it for the season. They might have 2 races.
We traditionally, we used to have like that novice cross-country champs as a kickoff. We used to have the 10K road champs, cross-country relays, the standard cross-country, which used to be 12K, is now 10K, short course cross-country, road relays, which is like 4x4K. And then they used to have a half marathon as well, which will be the New South Wales half marathon champs out at Homebush in September.
Pretty easy to get a state medal up there, Brady. You just got to keep entering events. Eventually no one will show up.
Nah, but they've got some bloody good runners up there, especially juniors. Remember the juniors that come out of Queensland?
We're talking about New South Wales, but don't worry, big fella.
I'm trying to get my third guest on the line. I'm working hard behind the scenes.
Go through the results.
The results, yep. Kate Spencer, she won the ladies 26-13. She beat Jayla Hancock Cameron 26-23 and Danette Sheehan 26-48. In the men's, Ben Bishop won in 23-13. Ben Graham 23-15 and Logan Campbell 23-27. In the cross-country champs, where's this held at, Croaks?
In Queensland.
Good.
Can't remember where it was held.
Brisbane?
But it was a fairly hilly course. I did see a couple of... You read out the results and I'll tell you where it was.
All right. Ladies, Chloe Pateman won. She ran 37.04 to closely beat Brielle Urbacher 37.08. And Taylor Hudspeth was third in 38.57. in the men's, Desmond Cutter won in 32.46, Rowan Hickey second in 33.21, and Liam Woolett third in 33.40.
Yeah, so I thought it was good to. Feel like sometimes Queensland gets a little bit left out, so I thought it'd be good to include. So Desmond, he ran about 30, 40 at the Gold Coast 10K the week before.
Yep.
Let me have a look here. I don't know.
You can't find it, Croaks. Do you want me to go to Run Melbourne?
Hang on. I was out in where was it? Toogoolawah golf course.
Oh, they've chopped a golf course off for this race.
Yeah, it looks like it's on a golf course, but they had a fair bit of elevation on it. So.
Remember that one at Mullaney, wasn't it? That had nationals there one year. That was real hilly as well.
Yes, this one was northwest, so in between Brisbane and Sunshine Coast, but inland a little bit.
I'm going to Run Melbourne. Last news item before we call in our third guest. Short courses, Croaks. You've got it written here. The Run Melbourne short course. All the GPS files come in a couple of 100 metres short. Ben Stevens got the win. He works in your store, doesn't he, Moose?
He is. He's a new employee.
68.50. He beat Tom Harvey 69.03. Maddie Heiner, Olympic finalist, got the win in 77.14, beating Gemma Maney, Melbourne Marathon winner, in 78.16. The 10K, Croaks, your YouTube boy, Jake Barraclough, he got the win in 29.36, beat Joe Fakota. What was Joe Fakota?
I remember Big Joe.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
I sent him a message to Hopper. I'm like, what was he doing in Melbourne? Because he ran 31 minutes. Isn't he like a 207, 208 guy?
And I think this course was short too.
Yeah, yeah.
He's run 50K. He's run he's a madman, Joe Fakota.
Yeah, he used to have the blue hair at Gold Coast and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Madison Caulfield got the win in the women's 36.26. She beat Gabrielle Nicora Baker in 37.38. Short courses, do people care? Run Melbourne? You should, because if you're paying entry fees, I think it was $160 to run the half marathon. And if they're, I don't know.
I'd be caring.
I'd be caring. If I'm coaching people who are a bit disappointed because they're like, oh, I've had a really good run. I think I've run a 2-minute PB, but maybe it's only a 90-second PB. Maybe it's an 80-second PB. I'm like, if you're paying $150 to enter a race, it should be measured at least Garmin certified.
This is the thing that always turned me off fun runs when I first started running, and that's what I loved about the track, was whatever time you run on the track, it's legit, unless it's like some on night in Vienna where they stuff up where they start the 800-meter races from. But I remember back in the day, there used to be so many of these local fun runs, and this was pre-GPS, and people would come out claiming that their 5K PB was like 14 minutes when they're like 17-minute 5K guys, whereas now it's like, at least there's often GPS to go, well, this course is like really, really short. Like if it's 300 meters short on your watch, there's no way you're running the distance. And it's very hard then to claim a PB. But a lot of those people that have gone into that race were expecting to run a PB. And now they're like, well, what, do I add another minute and a half onto that? It's pretty poor.
85% of the field, though, wouldn't care, Croaks. They wouldn't be like nerds like us. I don't think it would hit home at all for 85% of the field.
Yeah, you know what I'm doing is I'm just getting to the end of the run, seeing how short it was, delete, and then all you got to do is go off the results on the website. They're there forever, so no one has to know how short it is, and that brings me actually to my moose on the loose here, and this is about coaches not giving the honest truth to their athlete and pumping up their massive PB that they just ran at the Run Melbourne we'll call it the short course championships. And they're coming out saying, we had 85 PBs run on the weekend. We are coaching geniuses. We are doing something that no one else is doing to this generation of coaches and athletes. And it just shouldn't be on. Like, there has to be a hard conversation there and go, look, didn't run a PB. Sorry to tell you. We're going to get it next time. But please don't post anything and tag us in about PBs, because I'm not having it.
On top of that, what about coaches using debuts as a stat, PBs, as a PB?
No, that's not on either. That's
Well, it's kind of true.
Well, it sort of is,
Oh,
but it's
it's
a
not.
very cheap.
It's
a
hard
cheap.
to make the finish line of a marathon.
Yeah, this
like,
is a run to BB thing here, Crow.
no, I don't think we did that this time.
I have
but
definitely done this
I'll
before,
have
you
to
can
check,
tell.
check with our marketing guy, but I'm sticking up with that one because I think finishing a marathon is quite an achievement, and that does stay as your PB. Because you might only ever do one in your life.
But then if you're a coaching group and you're claiming like, 95%, PB rate, and most of those were running the event for the first time, like that doesn't really mean that you're a great
never
coach.
going to have 95% of the people doing it for the first time, though.
You see my point, though.
I see your point. I've had this down because when Moose is going to be away for the next 7 or 8 weeks, I've started a Moose on the loose. See at the bottom of this document, Brady on the loose for the next few weeks. You did use one. I think I had that, didn't I?
Oh, right.
Oh, didn't I have that? Yeah, here we go. People under. Oh no. Yeah, here we go.
You didn't have that.
Coaching companies with percentage-based PB promotion after everyone knows the course was short.
Or running a debut.
Nah, debut I'm happy with. Maybe put an asterisk next to that one. Especially those coaches who know better. Like,
what about Run Melbourne though? Have we I feel like they make decisions that are not runner focused. That's the impression I get from that event, and I always have. Like, it doesn't enhance the experience of the runner, I don't think. I feel like that's always been a very corporatized sort of transactional event.
Would have made so much money. They had 30,000 people, $2 million in entry fees just for the half marathon.
And that run's not like Run for the Kids. They're not trying to raise money for anything. Are they? Or
they give you the platform to raise money for the charity. So when we used to always do it, I won it 3 times, by the way, boys, back to back to back, if you're wondering. But they say, hey, you can set up your fundraising page for any charity you like, and then it's kind of pushed in that way.
But these races always donate. They will always donate a percentage because that's just how things work, and it could be like 0.5% or 1% or whatever. It gets around a lot of issues, I think.
It's a different audience, though, Moose, isn't it?
But the footage I saw, like people were just running up the back of other people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing. That's why Moose on the Loose is down here for the next couple of weeks too. We're using them all the same week Moose is here, Croaks. Yeah. What have I got here? Events getting too greedy. Having races run at the same time. Anyway, can we pause that for a second? Because I think I've got our next guest on the line. And the first question I'm going to ask him is if he's won Run Melbourne. So don't get about this guy. I'll ask him. I'll play a bit of a game with this guy as well. Just give me 2 seconds. I think I've got him on the line. All right, guest. I think I've got you there. We're going to play a quick game, guest. You listeners would have heard your voice before because you've been on a couple of road tours before. But yes or no question. Have you won Run Melbourne before?
Yeah.
Oh, he has. The half marathon or the 10K?
10K.
Okay. Sounds like a bit of an accent. Are you from Australia? What country are you from?
That's not a yes/no question, Brady.
That was just the first question. Was yes, no. You cut off him.
Not from Australia.
Not from Australia. Have you represented your country before?
In the most low-key way which is possible.
But you've got a vest.
I've got an England vest, yeah.
English, okay.
Not GB.
Give us, tell us a bit about your family situation. You got a job, you got a family, you got a wife, a kid, any of that stuff?
Yeah, well, when I was on this Road 2 series before, I didn't have a wife. I now do. And I didn't have a baby, and I now do. I did have a job, though, so that thing hasn't changed.
One thing, though...
Can I ask a question, Brady? Can I ask a yes or no? Is your marathon PB faster than Julian Spencer's?
Yes.
Last time you were on this show, you didn't have any hair, and this time you've come back with hair. I don't understand how that works.
Thanks for noticing, Moose. I appreciate that.
You should know, Moose. You've been taking the pills as well.
DHI London, don't bother with the pills. The only thing that works is surgery, trust me.
I will introduce him. He was on the road to London, which turned into the road to nowhere in 2020. He was also on the road to London in 2023 with Ali and Sinead. Nick Earl, welcome back to the Inside Running Podcast. Thanks for being on the road to Sydney.
Yeah, thanks, fellas. Yeah, looking forward to it. And I see you've finally caught up with the technology. This is way schmicker than Skype.
Yeah, well, they shut down Skype. We would be still using Skype if we could, but they shut the thing down. So what's happening with your running, Nick? Where you at? You ran a good time at Launceston 10K a few weeks ago?
Yeah, that was my best run in a long time actually. Best run since turning 40 certainly. So I was real chuffed with that. And going sub 31 was the goal, and I went 30:49. So yeah, it was pretty well sub, and it was kind of got me excited to then kind of build up for Sydney.
What do you think's a realistic sort of time for the marathon in Sydney?
So it's a really hard question. I mean, I've never been good in the heat, never been good at hills, and it's probably going to be warm. It's going to be hilly, so you have to be realistic. But as soon as that gun goes off, I know what my brain's going to do. I'm going to go off at like sub 220 pace and just think that yes, this is the big day. I'm going to impress myself here, but I just need to hold back and kind of the A goal. I think around 222 maybe. And then B goal is like beat my time at London Marathon because that was 224. And then C goal, get some scalps, including someone in this chat. And then and certainly Leanne, hopefully.
Yeah, we're just saying that.
I'm thinking like I may well lose the podcast. And then the D goal Z goal is to hang out by the finish line and wait for someone to collapse, and then I can carry them over the finish line and like a hero.
There's a certain amount of aura that comes with that, Nick. I watched Gold Coast and there were people carrying all sorts of stuff over the finish line, including bodies, and no one cared.
Yeah,
no one cared.
Okay.
So what was it about me?
They weren't dramatic enough. You were pulling a face and you were like, come on, you were pointing to the finish line and doing all the stuff for the camera.
That's what I'm talking about.
What your first rodeo, Moose?
The aura.
I wouldn't call it aura.
How are you two going to survive 8 weeks together?
We'll be fine. We'll be friendly. It'll be me and Moose, two old hacks against the
how many emails did it take for you to send to Brady to allow him to you back on here?
This is
he was my top pick.
Lee Gadecki asked me the same question. I sent him a screenshot of like just one mention of doing Sydney and getting confirmation, and then Brady asked me. So I'm not having that. So it was 17 from
Lee Gadecki. I haven't heard that name for years.
So give us a quick sort of 1 minute recap of like what your runnings look like over the last 3 years, because it's been like a bit up and down.
Yeah, just my knee. I got patellofemoral issues, and I've just been battling it for the last 3 years, basically. Kind of lost a bit of motivation after London because it was such a hard run, and I ran 224, which I was really disappointed with. And then I was like, right, what do I like about running? And it's not marathon training. So basically, I was then like, all right, I don't want to run a marathon for a couple of years. I want to get fast again at 5K. Let's get sub 15 again. Let's try and run fast for 10. And then start thinking like longer if I kind of start kind of getting motivated. And I think it was when you boys were talking about Eliud Kipchoge rocking up for Sydney and it becoming a major and all that. And I was like, this is too good opportunity to miss. I reckon if I message Benny Saint, he'll hopefully get me into Sydney. So I was like, this is too good opportunity. And my body's been pretty good over the last 12 months. So I was like, yeah, this is the time. Let's have another crack at the marathon.
Well put. Nice. Mature now as a dad. How old's the baby, Nick?
6 months. Yeah, she's just amazing. I love being a dad. I know you boys are all dads, and just absolutely, it's just amazing. You'll never do anything better, basically. It just puts everything into context. And running just doesn't matter. If you have a bad race, who cares? Like, it just doesn't matter. So, but I mean, obviously I want to be a really good role model for her. And basically just kind of, I want her to be involved in running and make the choice to do it herself, not force her into it, but like just be doing it and normalize it. And I don't want her to become a rower or a swimmer because I don't want to have to get up early and take her anywhere. So I want her to do parkrun Saturdays, and then we're done by 10 a.m. So that's the plan.
You do not want your kid to be a runner. Tell me, like.
Oh, would you rather rowing or swimming where you have to get up?
It's team sports,
dancing
mate.
could also be dangerous. Olivia's starting to get into dancing.
Gone, Moo. Honestly, like you hear people talk about soccer and their Saturdays are just gone.
You guys can continue this conversation in episode 1 in a few weeks or next week. So massive thanks for being involved again, Nick. I can't wait to listen to you, Moose and Leanne. Sure, there's going to be some great, robust conversation between the three of you. And it's good to hear your voice back on the Inside Running podcast.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for the opportunity. And certainly looking forward to unpacking, because you're off this show as well, Moose. You're just doing ours.
We'll have a guest filling in for Moose. Yep.
Oh, nice. Who you got?
We'll have a different one every week.
Oh, nice.
Like
all right. Well, I look
past.
forward to listen to it. So and I'll
got a bit
see
of a
you
hit
next
list.
week, Moose.
Probably listenership probably dropped for a few weeks, just initially, till the shock wears off.
Yeah, but hopefully the Patreon numbers go up. That's what we're thinking with you three superstars. All right. Thanks, Nick.
All right.
See
Cheers,
you, Nick.
guys.
Welcome back, mate.
Yeah, cheers.
It's going to be fun. Rightio. Let's bring this show home. I feel like we've jumped around 3 or 4 different headspaces. That was Moose on the Loose. We ticked off, hasn't we? We do have to thank our friends at Axel Coffee, though. Don't forget, Inside Running Podcast listeners get 20% off their first order online. Use the code IRP20 to start your day right with Axel. Couple of whispers here, fellas. Strap in. See Setho gone from one running to Nike. The breakup was done well on both sides, though. They kind of both did acknowledgement videos, which I really, really loved. And, interested to see him not interesting. He deserves to be with a big brand like Nike. So, see, he wore the Elite kit on the plane.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not sure about that.
New video out today as well.
It's not the kit that I'm unsure about. It's the wearing of tights, like splitties on a plane. Because just think about the person next to you. Because when you sit down, those split shorts right up.
Yeah, okay.
You're coming along the aisle, right? And your eyes are kind of down because you're not trying to get attention. All of a sudden, you look into the lap of Setho, and he's got 2-inch splitties on, and they're riding high. And that is not something I think you want to be looking at.
Do what you want.
You reckon there's a bonus in his contract? You wear this on an international flight, an extra couple of grand?
Get a few status credits or something. That's good. And we've continued our streak of bringing Seth up in the Whisper segment. What about yesterday on social media? Getting close to Sydney. It's got to be the best time of the year to just see some people dropping big runs and stuff, doesn't it? So Sinead Diver uploads like an Instagram story, 30K at 4:05s. The Queen is back, boys. Solid flex. Like, no one knows what she's been doing, and then she just goes bang. Like, we thinking Melbourne Marathon, Nike event. That's my prediction.
Sydney should throw some cash, get her up there.
Could you imagine? That would be so good. What a females race that would be if their record holder, the Queen, was there in action. So
if you're rolling 30K at 4:05, you're not far away from getting yourself in marathon shape.
100%. Yeah. And you've still got 6 or 7 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
if
then,
you're not already,
yeah,
you could be ready to go.
Kind of, yeah. I reckon that's good shape. Then Jess did a rare upload on Strava as well. 35K she was out for. 11K of like an 11K hill in there as well. So like she climbed a hill for 11K. So she's prepping for those hills. And then like Lisa had this like Instagram video with Steve Deneen, Chubba. They were dropping 40K together. I guess Chubba put it on his Strava that he did a 40K run as well. So it's going to be beautiful times to just check Strava, Instagram, who's flexing their fitness these next couple of weeks.
Do you want to know how far Leanne ran?
No. I want that recapped on the road to actually give it to us because this would be a separate week.
All right.
You're looking it up because you're one of our 6 followers.
35K.
Oh, okay.
420s.
Oh, the big.
This will be recapped. 350 meters of elevation.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, just the whisper is keep viewing social media. Just the good stuff's coming leading into Sydney or Melbourne or whatever races people are doing. But we're in the golden age of seeing people dropping content. Moves on the Loose has happened. Listen to Question Croaks. Let's bring this long show home.
This episode's listener question is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. Thanks for the great show every week. I have a question about mental preparation for the marathon. In my first marathon attempt, I unfortunately DNF'd after a solid physical prep. I feel that, among other things, a big part of it was the lack of sleep that I had during the 3 days leading up to the marathon, less than 2 hours per night. I was surprised by how nervous I got, and it led to a cycle of frustration and anxiety. 4 weeks later, I did finish my first marathon, But again, I struggled with the same issues. How can I better prepare myself mentally the next time? And that comes from Mitchell.
Jesus, it's a big question, isn't it? Like, do you guys ever had that like bad of sleep leading into a marathon?
Yeah, I did. I went to the I went to the doctor. Yeah, so I reckon if you
Continuous nights.
Yeah, so if you go back to the first
Sydney-
interview we did before
Sydney
Canberra
10.
Marathon.
Sydney 10, you were on sleeping tablets too, weren't you, 1 year?
Yeah, but they were leftovers from the initial Canberra Marathon 2017. So I hadn't really run a serious
Tails interview.
Yeah, it was all on that, I reckon. I hadn't run a serious marathon since my debut in 2013, and I just got so worked up that it was basically probably the Wednesday night and the Thursday night I had very little sleep, and I'm thinking to myself, if I don't sleep Friday night, like I'm screwed. So I actually went to the doctor, and yeah, he prescribed me, like he was a little bit like dubious to whether he was going to actually prescribe me something, like because he's worried I'd just take him for whatever reason. But I'm just like, no, it's just for this race sort of thing. But yeah, like I was really, really anxious for that marathon. Hasn't happened as much. Like I still struggle to sleep night before races. But the thing that I think helped me a fair bit, like before, say, Lake Biwa was, well, a couple of things. One, going back and just looking at my block of training, that just sort of gave me confidence that, I am prepared. And probably the biggest thing is we pump these things up to be bigger than what they actually are. At the end of the day, no one cares. Like you look back at most of the races that you've done 5-10 years ago, no one cares what the result was. It's just you personally that care. And so I think if you start to just realize that, hey, we do this for fun, we're not racing for our lives, put it in perspective, can probably make things a little bit easier.
Yeah, I just dumb it down as it's a very simple sport as well. Like you putting one foot in front of the other. You've done it every day of the week for the last 5 years. I guess that's where your kind of experience in the races comes as well. Like if Mitchell here hasn't had a lot of experience, like you can get yourself worked up as well. But yeah, I don't like when you're talking about anxiety and like I feel like I'm a bit unqualified to speak about it because I haven't really experienced it firsthand. Moose, you've had a bit of experience with it?
Yeah, but my anxiety has never been really around races. It's been just generalized. It often comes on at times when things are going fine, which I don't understand, and that's what makes it kind of frustrating. I think there's probably two things here. Having that type of sleep duration per night would probably increase his anxiety. Like it would almost add fuel to the fire of what's going on with him. So I think you definitely have to get on top of the sleep in order to improve your mental health in that regard. I think the night before it's okay to be nervous and have a poor sleep, but not when you're having multiple nights like that. That's really problematic, and that's definitely hurting your performance. Like definitely hurting. A few weeks ago, I had a poor night's sleep and then went and did a run, and my heart rate was like 10, 15 beats higher. Forced me to go get a blood test. That's how off I was just after a really poor night's sleep. So I think that's hurting him. And he said he's wondering if it was that, but it's definitely that. It's definitely his sleep. Yeah, it's pretty tricky. Like I haven't had real problems with this sort of stuff actually since having Nick. I'm not sure if we recorded when he had it on when he was talking, but he kind of nailed it and said things don't seem to matter as much once you've got kids.
Yeah, that was in that. Yeah.
The race just isn't that important anymore. And I just don't really get the nerves like I ever used to, because I feel it's just nowhere near as of an impact on me.
I think sometimes that can also impact your performance because you're not up for it enough. Yeah. Like I remember a couple of years ago being on the start line going, I don't feel anything here. Like I'm not pumped up, ready to go at all. And that's almost like my performance in a race is going to be the same as a training session because I've got the same amount of adrenaline pumping through the body. Another thing he could try as well is maybe race a bit more often. I think if you don't race very often, you then put all your eggs in this one basket. Whereas if you just go out and race regularly, you get used to it. It's,
and the stuff that comes with racing. So like those trams up at the Gold Coast last week, every one of them was packed. Like I rocked up there and I told Carly, because she left a bit earlier than me, I'm like, be prepared to miss the first 2 trams because like they're just packed. Like that could easily, you could have an anxiety attack or panic attack when and then you got to you pretty much got to push yourself onto those trams to get to the start line. But line up for Portaloos, or you can't find a pin for your bib, or like all that stuff can escalate and snowball really quickly. And if you haven't practiced that in 6 months, 12 months, whenever, they're the other little things that you get to experience, not just the being on the start line and pushing yourself to the limit.
Yeah. And this is this is only going to be compounded by the lack of sleep as well.
Yeah.
So there's a tricky one here because often the sleeping tablets can get you to sleep, but you can wake up with even more of that sort of doom and gloom in your head from sleeping tablets. Like they contribute to my anxiety the next day, even though they put me to sleep that night. So I we shouldn't be on here telling people to do that, but I would want to find a method to increase your sleep. That's my one there.
Would you actually write down what's causing you the anxiety? Like, would that be a start? Or do you see a psychologist? Like, do you get strategies? Is it meditation before bed, or?
I would talk to someone for sure.
Yeah.
And that could be, there's some very good sports psychologists out there that help come up with strategies like this. Like some really
you could probably
ones.
just listen to you could listen to so many sports psychologists doing interviews on podcasts, which would be a good start.
Or go and see one. Why are you against going to see one?
No, I'm just saying as a start. Then you might figure out which one you want to see too.
Yeah, maybe. But
I think a good place to start though is just try and put it into perspective. Like it's not as big as what we make it out to be.
Yeah, I was talking to a mate today who's got a baby due any day now, and I was just like, don't think about your running goals. This is going to put those. And I'm like, I'm telling you, because we've got similar running goals and I've ticked off a few of them. Like, what you're about to experience is 10 times, a million times better, I said. I'm like, don't go leaving the hospital room to fit your run in or your workout in, because you do not want to miss those first 3 or 4 days. But anyway, that was the listener question. Thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Visit precisionhydration.com and use the code IR-Spring2025 for 15% off your first order. London Diamond League's coming up. Anything else in your life, Croaks? We got fields for that?
Just yeah. So just
got
on
Aussies?
It now. Yeah. So women's 5K, we've got Rose Davies, Georgia Griffith. In the women's 800, Sarah Billings, Claudia Hollingsworth.
Georgia will just be pacing, won't she? She wouldn't run a 5K, Georgia.
Don't know. Well, she's on the start list anyway.
Yeah.
And then we've got the women's mile, Kat Bissett, but she might be pacing. Abby Caldwell, Lyndon Hall, Jess Hull. And then in the men's 1500, Ollie Hoare, Cam Myers, Adam Spencer, Jude Thomas.
Wow.
Heap of Aussies.
A lot of Aussies. How good's that?
That Adam Spencer, the Olympian. That Adam Spencer, yeah. He's an Olympian Moose.
Same college, though. Same college as your boy.
It's all right, Moose.
We got another boy for our list. Jackson Sharp. Add him on there.
That's actually... Adam Spencer went to the Olympics, right?
He did.
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking of.
That's what I'm saying. I'm giving you a step up.
Okay, I got it now. I think I was right all along. I just college had the names mixed up.
No, because you definitely referred to Jackson as an Olympian, but I know he was well crossed. He got
that's what
off.
I meant, Croaks. That's exactly what I meant.
All right.
What do you got coming up, Croaks?
Not much. Another week of school holidays. Watch a bit of the tour. You boys watch the Tour de France?
Nah, I don't have time for that stuff, mate. I'd love to one year, but just don't have time for it.
Can you imagine watching you and Toby Mende, the only two blokes who have enough time to watch the tour?
Well, I don't watch it. I have it on at night before I go to bed, and then occasionally I'll watch some highlights the next day.
Occasionally I'll watch a 5-hour episode of the tour.
No, don't watch the full tour.
Moose, what are you doing? Well, we won't hear from you, but good luck on the road to Sydney.
See you later, boys. See you later.
I think we might have to patch in for one or two of the episodes to tick off some shoe stuff.
I'm not pulling double shifts, mate.
I think you might be coming in for
Nah.
10 or 15 minutes when we've got to review some shoes.
This is me gone now.
Need some specs.
Do you know what? The last guest that took off from you started their own podcast from the Road 2 series. Not the last one, but the last one Nick Earl was on with. This might be my break.
A few of them, Timmy Vincent as well.
Oh.
No, Leanne's more likely to start up her own podcast, I reckon.
Yeah, she's probably got a bit more drive than I do.
Could be a break. Yeah, rightio. Yeah. No, that should be good. I think we will hear from you in a few weeks. And Croaks, we got to get a list together. Yeah. Hit us up. Who do you want to fill in the next 7 or 8 weeks? Who do you want? Give us
good
a
luck
name.
over there, Moose. Who do you want? Who's on
Who
your
do you want to listen to on a weekly show?
Oh, I'll get Clousy in.
Clousy for a weekly.
Actually, I reckon that could be fun.
That would be really good. Clousy, get Oh, actually, you had me going back again. Get Pete LaGrice.
Oh, the Prince of Penzance.
He's been running 50K like trail races. He's a beast again. He's back fit.
Get him to tell 7 weeks. We can't have 2 UK people over 7 weeks, can we?
Get him to tell the Gordon Ramsay hotel horror story. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Not many people do that. I'm thinking of more modern names.
Modern names coming up. Okay. They got to be Aussie. Got to be in Australia.
They don't have to be. It's always good if they listen to the show, though, and get the vibe about it. Like, that's how Izzy fits in so well.
Put Setho on. Get Setho for an episode.
For a weekly, yeah, we could.
You learn a bit more about him that way, I reckon.
We'll get
potentially get a Chriso training week update.
Chriso, yeah, we could get Chriso. Chriso's always good as a fill-in host.
You know who you need? Renato. Get Renato in for an episode.
Renato and Chriso.
Oh, that would be a good chat.
Would be, wouldn't it? All right, boys. See you later. It's been a long episode.
See you next week, Brady. Good luck, Moose.
See you later. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Want to make your next race day the best one yet? Well, dialing in your nutrition strategy is one of the most effective ways you can do that. Luckily, our show sponsor, Precision Fuel and Hydration, offers you the chance to do this in the most effective way possible. Book a free consultation with their team to fine-tune your fueling plans. Emphasis here on you, as they offer tailored advice based on your circumstances and the race you're taking on. They're there to help you achieve your goals all year long, and as mentioned, this service is free of charge and a great opportunity to ask them any questions you may have about fueling and hydrating for your race. No question is too daft for them. We've loved Precision for a long while, and this free service is another reason why. Use the link in the show notes and use code IR-Spring2025 for 15% off your first order and start smashing those goals today.